Hello and welcome to the part one of the introduction tutorial to writeevolution.com. So let's start off by looking at the homepage, www.writeevolution.com. And basically this is a site to collaboratively write and eventually publish stories, fiction, creative fiction. And basically you can sign up as a writer or an editor, and if you're a writer you can contribute to you can contribute to existing stories or start a new story altogether, to which other people can also contribute chapters as the story progresses. So to get a basic idea of how this works, I'm logged in as writer 1. That's just a test account for a writer account. And as you can see, I'm looking at a dashboard that shows uh, stories I've already created, as well as chapters I've already written, which may be part of my own stories or somebody else's. And on the far right here is a list of open stories, basically stories that are looking for writers to complete a chapter uh, or more, or multiple chapters for that matter. So let's start from the beginning. I'm just going to create a brand new story here and call it Rough Day on Mount Rainier. And each story has a category. This probably would be an adventure. And I have three options here. I can have the story open to other writers and editors. I can write the whole story myself and just select an editor, or I can keep my story completely private. So we're going to pick the first option here. And I'm actually going to select an editor as well. So let's conveniently select editor 1. And I also have the option before starting the first chapter to add some characters. So let's add a character named Bob, and he uh, he is the expedition leader. And let's just fill in some form, some to make it look realistic. And boom, we have our first character. And that should be enough for the purposes of a demo. So the initial chapter is called the seed chapter, and it's basically going to kick the story off. And the author, the person who created the story, is called the seed author, and they are the one who must create the seed chapter. So let's go ahead and do that. And then this will be the very first chapter. And again, just some sample text. And I'm going to save this. And boom, I now have my first draft. And I'm still in the edit window. However, you can see it was saved. And I can view it in more of a reader view. And I can also go back to the chapter dashboard, which depending on my role, and in this case, I'm the seed author, so I'll have some control over the story and its chapters. Multiple versions of a chapter, when they're complete, go up to a vote, and the winner of the vote gets moved into the editing phase. And that should complete part 1. In part 2, we'll talk about how other users can contribute to the story.